Here's a number that'll make your jaw drop. Studies show that over 60% of small contractors operate with profit margins under 10%. But here's what's worse. Most don't even know it. They think they're making money because the bank account has cash in it, but they're actually subsidizing every job with their own blood, sweat, and sanity.
Welcome back to the CraftEdge podcast. I'm Lisa, and if you've ever felt like you're running a charity instead of a business, this episode is going to hit different.
And I'm Justin. Today we're not just talking about pricing, we're talking about the psychological warfare that happens in your head every time you quote a job. Because let's be honest, most contractors know they should charge more, but they don't. And that gap between knowing and doing, that's what's killing your business. Let me tell you about Mike, drywall contractor, 15 years in business. Last year, he did $280,000 in revenue. Sounds good, right? Wrong. After we ran his numbers, he made $18,000. $18,000. That's $8.65 an hour for running a business with employees, insurance, and equipment.
And Mike's not alone. We see this constantly. Contractors who are busy 60 hours a week, stressed out of their minds, and making less than they would managing a McDonald's. The problem? They're pricing like employees, not business owners.
Here's the kicker. Mike told me, I just want to be competitive. But competitive with what? With contractors who are also going out of business? That's not competitive. That's collective suicide.
And there's this myth that you can get in the door cheap and upsell later. Justin, how often does that actually work?
Almost never. Because when you train a customer that your work is worth discount prices, they'll never see you as premium. You become the cheap guy. And cheap guys don't get premium projects.
Let's talk about something most contractors won't admit: imposter syndrome. It sounds like this. What if they find out I don't really know what I'm doing? Or what if they think I'm too expensive?
I had a roofer tell me last week, Justin, I've been doing this for 20 years, but when I quote a job, I still feel like I'm asking for too much. 20 years. This guy can fix problems other contractors can't even diagnose, and he's apologizing for his prices.
Here's the shift that changes everything. You're not charging for your time. You're charging for the 20 years it took you to be able to solve their problem in 3 hours instead of 3 days.
Exactly. When a surgeon charges $5,000 for a procedure that takes 30 minutes, they're not charging for the 30 minutes. They're charging for the 12 years of training that makes those 30 minutes possible.
So when you quote a job, you're not selling labor. You're selling expertise, reliability, and peace of mind. That has value, premium value.
All right, let's get into the math. Most contractors think profit is what's left over after paying for everything. Wrong. Profit is what you plan for first. Here's what actually goes into a profitable price. Direct costs, materials, labor, subcontractors. This is obvious stuff. Indirect costs, fuel, phone, shop supplies, insurance, permits. The stuff that's easy to forget. Overhead, admin time, CRM software, marketing, office rent, accounting, the cost of running a business. And hidden costs, and this is where most people get murdered: vehicle wear and tear, tool replacement, estimate time, callbacks, warranty work. Desired profit. Not hope, not luck, intentional margin.
Justin, can you walk us through that hidden costs piece? Because I think that's where most contractors lose money.
Absolutely. Let's say you spend 2 hours doing an estimate. You don't get the job. Most contractors write that off as cost of doing business. But it's not free. It's a cost that has to be recovered somewhere.
Same with callbacks. You do a job, customer calls with a minor issue, you drive back out for 20 minutes of work. That's not goodwill. That's overhead that needs to be built into your pricing.
And here's the big one: equipment depreciation. Your truck, your tools, your equipment, it's all losing value every day. That's a real cost that has to be factored in.
Let's destroy some myths. Myth number 1, lower prices get you more jobs.
Truth? Lower prices get you worse jobs and customers who will leave you for anyone $50 cheaper.
Myth number 2, you can make it up in volume.
Truth? If your margin is broken, more jobs just means losing money faster. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in it.
Myth number 3, customers only care about price.
Wrong. Wrong customers only care about price. Right customers care about quality, reliability, and not having to deal with problems later.
Myth number 4, I need to match the competition.
Truth? If your competition is pricing to go out of business, why would you want to match that? Let's do some math. Small kitchen remodel, $15,000 project. Here's how most contractors price it. Materials, $6,000. Labor, $4,000. Profit, $5,000. Looks good, right? Wrong. Here's what they forgot. Permits and inspections, $400. Fuel and vehicle costs, $300. Estimate time, 2 hours, $200. Project management, $800. Insurance allocation, $200. Tool wear and depreciation, $300. Overhead, admin, marketing, office rent, accounting, $1,200.
So that $5,000 profit just became $1,600. And that's before callbacks, change orders, or anything going wrong.
Now let's price it correctly. Same job, but we price it at $19,500. Now we have real margin to handle problems, pay ourselves properly, and grow the business.
And here's the thing. The right customer will pay $19,500 for quality work. The wrong customer will never pay enough, no matter how low you go. Let's practice. I'm going to be the customer. Your price is way higher than the other guy. He's doing it for $12,000.
You're right. We're not the cheapest. But let me ask you this. When you're looking at a $12,000 quote versus our $19,500 quote, what exactly are you comparing? Are you comparing the same materials, the same warranty, the same level of communication? Because if you're just comparing numbers, you're not comparing the same thing.
But $7,500 is a lot of money.
It is. And that's exactly why you want to make sure this gets done right the first time. That $7,500 difference, that's the cost of proper preparation, quality materials, and having someone who's still going to be here in 5 years when you need us. The cheap guy might save you money today, but what's it going to cost you tomorrow?
The key is confidence. When you know your numbers are right, you can defend them without apologizing.
Let me tell you about Sarah. She's an electrician who joined CraftEdge 6 months ago. She was doing $180,000 a year in revenue and taking home maybe $35,000.
Classic survival pricing.
Exactly. We helped her restructure her pricing. She raised her rates by 40%. You know what happened? She lost about 30% of her customers, the worst 30%, but her profit doubled. She went from $35,000 to $70,000 in take-home pay while working fewer hours.
And the customers she kept? They're higher quality. They pay faster, they complain less, and they refer more.
That's the power of pricing for profit instead of survival.
Here's what you're going to do. Step 1, go back and review your last 5 completed jobs. For each one, write down your total price, your actual direct costs, your actual time investment, including estimates, travel, callbacks, what was really left after all costs. Step 2, rate yourself from 1 to 10. How confident do you feel explaining your price to a customer?
Step 3, pick one upcoming quote and price it using the full cost method we just outlined. See the difference.
And if you're not confident in your pricing, that's okay. That's exactly why we created CraftEdge.
Look, you didn't get into contracting to be broke. You got in because you're good with your hands, you solve problems, and you want to build something.
Inside CraftEdge, we've taken all the guesswork out of pricing. We give you job pricing calculators that factor in everything, margined optimized quote templates, objection handling scripts for every situation, profit tracking dashboards, direct access to Justin and the coaching team, a community of contractors who are actually making money.
This isn't theory. This is the exact system we use to help contractors double their take-home pay while working fewer hours.
Visit GetCraftEdge.com or email us at info@GetCraftEdge.com. Stop subsidizing your customers and start paying yourself what you're worth.
Remember, you don't need to win every job. You need to win the right jobs, the ones that help you build the business and life you actually want.
Next week, we're talking about client experience systems, because getting the job is half the battle. Keeping customers happy and getting referrals is where the real money is made.
Subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts, share this with a contractor who needs to hear it, and leave us a review. It helps more contractors find these episodes.
We'll see you next time on the CraftEdge podcast. Now go charge what you're worth.